Have you ever changed anyone's mind on GamerGate?
I guess you can never really know. I did talk to that friend I mentioned, but we never really talked about it afterwards. So I have no idea. I guess that's the hard part of having internet conversations and debates generally, is that like all the work you do having a conversation, like you'll never see the results of that because no one ever changed their mind like immediately. Like what you do is that you put doubt in someone's you get people thinking, and then sometime down the line later, like they'll be like, maybe this other way of thinking is like okay, and that's usually what happens. But you're never around for that, um, and so I have no idea.
Do you want to change my mind on GamerGate?
Um, Sorry if I'm making noises. I'm futzing with a tape measure. Um, um, mm, I don't know. I don't think it's. Like I don't have a compulsion to like interpersonally. Um, I don't know. Mm. I I guess I'm more interested in just like what people do going forward, I suppose.
Okay. Did you see my interview with Captain Carbine?
No, I just had time to. I have like 50 tabs open of things I'm like constantly trying to get through. I did watch all the Christine Hoff Summers one because that was fairly high profile, so I wanted to do that one. But yeah, not the other ones.
Okay. I'm not gonna talk bad about anybody. Um, but he says that he's not talked to somebody who disagrees with him on GamerGate in years.
Hmm.
And he was really closed off to the idea of even engaging in the discussion.
Hmm.
It's actually the first time I think I've seen that trait in a pro GamerGate person before. Well, there were the people who gave Hatman shit when he talked to Brianna Wu. So,
Hmm.
but I don't know any of those people. They were like randos. Maybe Sargon was in there, so maybe Sargon
Hmm.
was giving him shit. I don't know. I don't know what Sargon said specifically,
Hmm.
but he's he was pretty closed off to the idea of talking with people who disagree with him on this,
Hmm.
and he doesn't think it could be productive.
It is. It is challenging to have productive conversation, especially if it's like difficult. I mean, should I say? Hmm. There's a certain kind of space one needs to be in to critically think about their strongly held beliefs. I don't know, which is hard to really come upon. There can be good back and forth to be had, maybe some interesting points we raise on the other side always, and some people watching may end up feeling one way or another about it, and that's not too terribly hard to have. But it's always hard one-on-one to like ever move someone if we're talking about moving people. But in terms of like having just like a productive conversation, like, well, you've made me think about something I haven't thought about before. Like that's certainly possible. Mm.
He says he might be willing to do it if there's a good moderator.
Hmm. Okay,
If if he is open to the discussion, would you be willing to talk with him?
could give it a shot. Sure.
He's not like me.
Oh boy.
He's he's a bit more hard line on some stuff.
Hmm.
has some very disagreements with me, but that's fine. People disagree with stuff all the time. I think that's fine. I think it's a part of a healthy democracy.
If I have some time, I could try.
You'll
Hmm.
want to watch the interview first.
Okay. Yeah, I should probably do that before saying anything.
Okay.
You can link it to me. Maybe I can.
Do you Are you friends with anyone on the other side?
I guess you suppose.
I'd say
Mm-hmm.
that's fair. Yeah. It's weird
Mm-hmm.
with like are online people friends? Like I think they can be. I think online friends is fine or friends is fine. I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with how often we talk and we're on the internet and I think it's fine. I think we're friends.
Mm-hmm. If I ever had a chance to come by, I definitely want to hang out.
Yeah. Are you friends with any other pro gamer? Well, your other friend you said, right?
Oh, I actually, funny thing, in the, I think I might have mentioned it to you once before, but in the, just say board game group that I would occasionally go to, I was, Matt Myers would be in there, and so we'd be
Matt
friends with him.
Myers? The Matt
Yeah,
Myers?
the Matt Myers, Myers
He's a
Twitter
doxer,
himself.
right?
Well,
Oh, I mean, that was
mm,
that was like 7 years ago.
yeah.
For the context, Matt Myers was a very prominent. I mean, not he wasn't like super prominent, but he was a very active anti-GamerGate person. Very active,
Mhm.
very passionate about his opposition to GamerGate. He did later
Right.
get caught up in the Zack Attack stuff, where he went after
Yeah, yeah.
Mombot.
I
But
remember
like,
that.
maybe has he apologized for that? I don't know.
Uh, I've seen him. I've seen him like once at that table really recently, but I didn't like interact that much. We mostly just played the board game. So, but yeah, I get the feeling like he didn't really. Well, I didn't want to get him started talking about it IRL.
Yeah. Well, hey, tell him I want to interview him. It'll be interesting. Well, fuck! I've got so many. I got 45 people. Do I need more? But like,
I mean,
maybe
that would
float
be
the
an
idea.
interesting interview.
See if he's interested. He'd be a
Mm.
big. He'd be an interesting perspective to hear out. And I wonder if what he thinks of the Zack Attack stuff now. And obviously, look. I mean, like he made a mistake. What he did was wrong. Um,
Mm.
but like, I
Yeah.
don't think that like defines his entire life. Like he's not like the guy who tried to dox Mombot from now until the end of time. I think he can. We're all human. We all fuck up. And what he did was he probably thought he was doing the right thing, right? He probably thought like, oh, these fucking gamer gators are evil misogynists. I'm going to destroy them and I'm going to do everything I can to take them down, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
probably what he was thinking in his head. Um, which I mean, I don't think that's a good way to. I think that's a bad place to be mentally. I think that's a bad thing to do. I'm not defending doxing,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
like,
Heck of a
I don't
thing.
think he's like a.
Mm.
I don't think that he can't be reformed,
Mm.
or maybe he's already reformed. It's been years, who knows?
Yeah, it's been a while. He doesn't really come to the weekly meetings, so.
You two talk though, your friends, or
Um, yeah, I mean, like, it's a whole thing because, like, this is back when I was a boy and I had more social anxiety. Didn't really talk to people. Didn't really make friends. But we'd like chat at the meetings a little bit. But I never really like did too much together.
okay.
But yeah, would see him every week for a while there. Especially like during when all this was going down. I would see him every week.
How could the Gamergate conversation have been more productive?
Um, what did I write down? Eh, I don't know. I guess it has more to do with ethics stuff and less to do with social justice stuff, I suppose. Or just like transitioning to the LLC thing. That would have definitely been more productive. I guess the same sort of things I mentioned before, but yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on Not Your Shield?
Um, I feel that Not Your Shield sort of incredibly hypercritically. It was this aim to sort of recruit pro-GamerGate minorities to sort of demonstrate their support for GamerGate in order to sort of stave off accusations of bias against minorities, which was kind of using those people as GamerGate's shield. So
Recruit pro GamerGate minority. Weren't a lot of these people already supporters of GamerGate?
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
why
Recruit
they.
people who are already supporters. Yeah.
I mean, they didn't need to be recruited then because they already believed in the cause, right?
Or it's more like, hey, can you like? It would be cool if y'all made a video expressing your support, like be a part of this thing.
Well,
I mean, like
the
that
origin
might get
of
like the
this.
social dynamics of getting the people involved might be a little um, it's a little messy to just call it recruitment, I suppose. But like one way or another, like GG, like the people who were minorities who were pro GG sort of did this thing, and it was a shield for GG.
Well, there's two people who claim to have started Not Your Shield. One of them was I think Nineouh. But then there was another guy who was like, no, he's lying. I beat him to the punch. But these are both black people
Mhm.
who
Yeah,
actually
but I guess
supported.
like yeah, but to me the main takeaway is that it was not your shield was GamerGate's shield.
Some websites ban discussion of GamerGate. Why do you think that is?
um, Mostly because, well, I mean, at the time the topic was not really conducive to productive discussion. And I think you acknowledged as well in some of the dealings I've seen you sort of deal with in recent times where, you know, in certain online spaces, some certain kinds of folks can end up sort of taking up all the oxygen if sort of like a complete hands-off approach is taken. And sort of sometimes is appropriate to sort of um, keep things on track. And I think there were some things we were talking about recently where that wasn't done and things got very much off track.
Do you think there was a quote unquote anti-GamerGate? That is to say, a sort of semi or fully coordinated effort by some people to oppose GamerGate?
Um, by that definition, no. So I don't feel like there's anything terribly meaningfully coordinated. There were discussion forums, and there were people who sort of did not like what GamerGate was doing, and there was some tracking of all that. I'm thinking things like freaking GamerGazi or whatever. Um, I don't know how much it can be really a coordinated effort against the people trying to coordinate something. I just don't think that was really the nature of the dynamic because mm, it's more like there were organizations like journalist organizations that Gamergate was attempting to coordinate efforts against, or um, certain journalists they were calling out, and those who disliked that more or less just kind of disliked it and sort of talked about how much they disliked it, and it wasn't really as much to coordinate. There was no like operation, nothing like, you know, Gamergate has like Operation Deep Freeze or Operation like Disrespectful Nod or whatever. And there was never anything in like comparable that was like an organized effort to do something anti-Gamergate. It's mostly just like, man, all this sucks, and just discussion of that.
I mean, we did have GamerGazi. You did have anti-GamerGate chat rooms. You had a Twitter space where you and Matt Myers are friends. We
Hmm.
have Matt Myers working with other anti-GamerGate people to dox GamerGate supporters, allegedly. But,
I mean,
it
that
seems
was a thing for
like
sure.
it's. I'm sorry, what?
Like, yeah, I mean, there's little things like that. But I suppose what does one consider to be coordinated effort?
I said semi or fully coordinated. I think
Yeah,
semi-coordinated is probably like a more accurate. And like doxing Gamergate people, like that seems like. And also they had the stop Gamergate hashtag. Remember?
oh yeah, there's those like I don't know. To me, that does not seem like coordination. It seems, and I know there was a bunch of shit show on either side, a bunch of shit flinging. So there were people doxing each other on other sides or whatever, and that was like not good and really quite bad actually. But I don't know. I guess it doesn't meet my understanding of coordinate, I suppose.
So you didn't consider yourself part of any like community that was in opposition to GG?
Yeah, again, I've mostly lurked. I would, if I had a unique perspective, I would offer it. Most of the times, I would just like something, I suppose, if I thought a perspective was good. But um, and I'm the kind of person who I will post something, kind of if and only if like I have something new to add. If other people have said the same thing, I'll just like that and won't just repeat what's always been repeated. So most of the time, I would just read and consider and occasionally use that to like make arguments in the future and whatnot. So I don't know. It depends on what one considers to be involvement in a community.
Okay. There is a question in the chat relating to this, but I'm not sure it's from Science Mile. I'm not even sure I want to, because I don't. I think reword the question and we'll talk about whether or not it's a good one, maybe. Thank you for watching another video segment from the People of GamerGate. I'm happy to announce that the book, The People of GamerGate Volume 1, is now available in both hardcover and Kindle formats. Please head over to gamergatebook.com or search for The People of GamerGate on Amazon to pick up your copy today. Thank you, and have a great day.